Welcome to the 2021 Degroote School of Business Undergraduate Award Ceremony. I would like to introduce our special guest speaker, Tanya Walker. Tanya is an award-winning litigation lawyer. She is managing partner at Walker Law and currently a bencher of the Law Society of Ontario. She has the distinction of being the first Black female bencher elected from Toronto, as well as one of the youngest sitting benchers. Among her recognitions, she is the recipient of the 2018 Women's Business Enterprise of the Year Award. Tanya is also a proud Degroote alumna of the BCom O2 program. Thank you for joining us today, Tanya. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanya Walker, and I'm honored to be your keynote speaker for the Academic Achievement Awards. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate the recipients of the Academic Achievement Awards and the members of the Dean's Honors List. I know how hard you have worked for this, and I'm excited to celebrate your achievements today alongside with your friends and your family. Today, I will speak with you about how I continue to achieve success even during a global pandemic, and what I've learned since I've completed my studies at Degroote School of Business almost 20 years ago. Specifically, I will highlight the importance of building relationships and giving back. Before I begin, I would like to thank Marley Annette from our law firm for helping me prepare this presentation. I would also like to thank Kelly Rabeck, Chris Fichette, and Cecilia Angel from McMaster University for your assistance as well. So before I begin, you may be wondering, who's Tanya Walker? I was born and reside in Toronto to parents that immigrated from Jamaica. My mother is a retired nurse and my father is a retired technician. I spent most of my formative years in Ajax, and my parents continue to reside there today. I am the first person in my family to attend university and consequently to obtain a postgraduate degree. I'm a proud alumnus of Degroote School of Business, where I received an honors Bachelor of Commerce degree with a minor in economics in 2002. I also obtained my Bachelor of Laws degree from Osgoode Hall Law School in 2005 and was called to the bar in 2006. I moved on to practice at two Bay Street firms before I opened my own law firm, Walker Law, which was also originally located on Bay Street. I started the firm with a part-time law clerk, and now we employ almost 10 employees, with 3 more to join us next year. This year, the firm celebrated its 11th anniversary. On the slide, you can see a picture of me that I took for a magazine shortly after I opened the firm. And at Walker Law, I practice as a trial lawyer. I often wear those robes and assist clients with their civil disputes. What this means is if there are disputes over money, clients can hire our firm to resolve that matter. And if that matter cannot be resolved by settling, we try to go to court and get an order from a judge. Often, I receive the opportunity to share my legal knowledge by appearing as a legal analyst on television stations such as CTV, CBC, and CP24. One of my proudest professional accomplishments is becoming the first Black female bencher from Toronto in the now 224-year history of the Law Society, and I was reelected in 2019. The Law Society regulates the legal profession and serves to protect the public by creating policies and procedures that govern lawyers and paralegals. Every 4 years, the Law Society hosts an election for benchers where the lawyer benchers must receive a number of votes in order to become elected. A bencher is like a board of director at the Law Society. So to me, receiving almost 3,000 votes in each election to become and continue as a bencher shows me that my peers respect and appreciate my efforts to assist the public. Now going into my personal achievements, 2 of my personal achievements that I'm most proud of is being a wife to my husband, Daniel Stojkovic. He immigrated to Canada over 20 years ago from the former Yugoslavia, and also being a mother to our son, Alexander, who is almost 3 years old. My career first started when I attended McMaster University. When I first attended McMaster way back in 1997, I resided at Moulton Hall, which was an all-female residence. After Moulton, I lived at Bates. When I attended McMaster, I worked part-time at the radio station CFMU in the role of marketing. After third year, I had the pleasure of participating in a 16-month internship with Celestica, which was a company started by IBM. I completed a few more courses during the 16-month internship, which meant that I finished school in January instead of June. Despite this, I decided to graduate in June so I can graduate with my friends. After graduation, I was fortunate enough to receive a position at the head office of Petro-Canada as a management trainee from January until I started law school in September 2002. I say I was fortunate to receive this position because I participated in on-campus interviews around September 11th, 2001, which we now refer to as 9/11. As a result of the tragedy in the United States, there was a sudden uncertain job market and many job offers were put on hold. Thinking back to that unfortunate time to today, where we are experiencing a global pandemic that also provides for an uncertain job climate, I realized what has helped me as a person and as a business owner persevere during those uncertain times. And that's the relationships that were founded on giving back and volunteering. So before I dive into the importance of building relationships, I wanted to bring your attention to this picture of me as a little girl and the logos on the side. Some of you may recognize these logos, but what they all have in common is that our firm represents, has represented, or has been vetted to be an approved supplier of legal services to represent these companies. Reflecting on how I started as a child with no connections in the world of business to now representing the businesses that you see on the screen, I started from nothing more than just what you all have now, which are academic credentials. What I found that is just as important as the academic credentials is building relationships, which I managed to do by giving back. Philanthropy is a form of giving back. To describe philanthropy, I will rely on a quote from the founder of eBay, Pierre Omidyar. He explains that philanthropy translates from the Latin word to love for humanity. It is a desire to improve the state of humanity and the world. To him, philanthropy differs from charity because charity addresses immediate suffering. Philanthropy requires us to think and address the root causes of our problems so that we can prevent a tomorrow of future suffering. So you may be wondering, with your busy schedule and with grades being such a high priority, how do you even find the time to give back and build relationships? What is the benefit to giving back? One way giving back helps you is that it feels good to help others, and others may appreciate and recognize you for your hard work. I remember experiencing this feeling when I was a board member on the McMaster Alumni Association. In 2017, I received the Young Alumni Arch Award from McMaster University. The Young Alumni Arch Award recognizes McMaster's most recent graduates for their unique and interesting contributions to society, their local community, and to McMaster University. So when the pandemic first started in March 2020, the court system was put on hold for almost 3 months. And during this time, we saw constant changes in the news, courts setting new precedents, and new court procedures were created to address the health and safety concerns of the public. Even I had trouble keeping up with the constant changes in the law. As a result, I appreciate that others may need our help as legal professionals to share our knowledge about these changes. Also, with the court closures and my knowledge as a trial lawyer, I knew that approximately 95% of my cases settle, and I appreciate that knowing how to negotiate a settlement was an important skill, especially during the pandemic. I also appreciated the limitations of the reach of our firm and that there may be people that required our help. So due to my continued relationship with McMaster University, we agreed to host a webinar for McMaster on negotiations. This webinar was very successful as almost 700 people registered. So some of you may be wondering, we are in a pandemic. How do I even consider giving back or having the resources to give back during this time? What is the link between giving back and forming relationships? You can start by sharing your knowledge with others. All of you have a special skill that can be used to help others. For those of you in the accounting stream, you can use this to teach financial management. For those of you who are interested in marketing, you can teach a webinar on how to market a product for people who have just started a business. I understand that there have been many job losses throughout this period of time. Another way you can help is by donating to those in need. On the slide, you will see a picture of me volunteering in Puerto Rico a few years ago, after we did a book drive for a school located in an at-risk neighborhood. For those of you who may have limited funds, there may be items you have that you may no longer need. You can donate these items through Facebook community groups or coordinating a pickup from your porch. Third and last on the slide, make your spending count. Many small businesses had to shut down permanently or close temporarily. Maybe make your spending count by purchasing from those businesses who experienced having their doors shut. The work you do through volunteering allows you to build relationships with other people. For example, through my volunteer work, I built a relationship with an individual who's connected to world leaders. Because of our relationship, I was invited to meet our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, 4 days after I delivered our son, and the former First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama. Just being in the presence of these leaders gave me a sense of energy and excitement to pursue my own goals. I wouldn't have had these opportunities to meet with these leaders if I didn't build relationships with others. Lastly, when you build relationships with others, they may provide you with business opportunities you otherwise wouldn't have had. Most of the files that I worked on were sent to me by people who I've built relationships with through volunteering. The reason why I have a picture of me on the television station CP24 is because I was asked by an anchor to appear on the show due to my work as a bencher. Before becoming a trial lawyer, I was terrified of public speaking. However, through giving back and appearing as a legal analyst on national television stations, it has increased my confidence. Our firm has also expanded the scope of clients that we represent with regarding Canadian problems or issues that they may have by being recognized in the United States. Through my volunteer work, I was asked by the editor to be on the cover of the Minority Business Enterprise magazine, which is a publication originating from the United States and distributed throughout North America. So the problem I think that you might be thinking is, where do I even find the time? It takes a long time to build genuine relationships through volunteering that reap tangible results. So if you're performing well academically, and you may even also work part-time, you may find that you have little time for anything else. My response to this is that everyone has the same amount of time in a day. You may want to consider giving back and volunteering as an investment into your future that will help you become successful, much like your grades will. So, looking at time management, giving back teaches you a variety of important skills, including time management. Consider scheduling all parts of your day and sticking to that schedule. This is a skill that I acquired at McMaster and strengthened while I was at Alaska. If you start to schedule your day hour by hour, you will see that you have so much more time in a day than you think. Balance. Successful people are able to prioritize and balance their time. They know when to work hard, but also when to stop. Giving back helps you increase the skill because you will need to create more of a balance by continuing to achieve good grades while having less time to study. Stress. Giving back helps you better manage your stress. Circumstances will always be thrown at you, such as this pandemic, and it's important to know how to deal with them and juggle multiple balls in the air. Gratitude. Giving back makes you realize how fortunate you are and develop an appreciation for humility. I find that likable people are usually ones that are humble. Social connection. One thing many of us are experiencing throughout this pandemic is social isolation. Giving back, even if it's by attending a meeting, by video conference, helps to increase your interaction with others and your happiness. Through social connections, you will meet people who believe in your charitable contribution and may be more likely to buy from you or work with you because you have a similar belief system. Here is a picture of me with my family when I graduated from McMaster University in June 2002. I put this picture here to demonstrate that as you go out into the world, it is up to you to make decisions that will help you and your career. Based on my experience, it is difficult to call on the assistance of others when you need them. It is much more easier to ask those for help if you have a relationship with that person or that organization. I will end my presentation today leaving you with a quote from Michael Lee Chen, who was an alumnus from McMaster, and just like my parents, was also born in Jamaica. In 1970, he came to Canada on a scholarship program sponsored by the Jamaican government to study civil engineering at McMaster University, and he completed his studies there in 1974. Mr. Lee Chin, who became a billionaire through businesses that he owns, such as Portland Holdings, is no stranger to giving back, as he donated $5 million to McMaster University to establish the Michael Lee Chin and Family Institute for Strategic Business Studies at the Degroote School of Business. And he says, if people perceive themselves as having very little opportunities to be fulfilled, it cheapens their life and outlook. The solution is to reverse it. Make sure they know opportunities abound. And what this quote means to me, and how this may relate to you, is that high academic success will certainly provide you with opportunities. However, you are likely to obtain more opportunities in areas that are unknown to you by giving back. Giving back may result in increasing your business, getting a promotion, or meeting world leaders. Thank you again for listening to me speak. Please feel free to contact me regarding any questions that you may have or to provide feedback. Congratulations to all of you for all that you have achieved.
Thank you, Tanya, so much for a wonderful message to our students.